Let me talk about the other big issue of the week coming out of those killings in a church in South Carolina. We've seen cascade of states and businesses across the country take down the Confederate flag, refuse to sell the image of the Confederate flag. What's your reaction to that?
I think South Carolina made a proper decision, and the governor is to be commended for her leadership. She and Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham stepped up and said, if this is hurting people, if this is an offense, it's not worth it to be so divisive. And I think it's important to note, and I know this will cause a lot of angst, but it was Republicans who stepped up and made this happen. And let me give tribute to David Beasley, the Republican governor who back in the mid-90s also attempted to do this and essentially lost his re-election because of it. And so when people talk about that Republicans don't care about race, I find that incredibly not only offensive, but, George, I find it just wrong-headed.
But actually, you said when President Obama...
in so many cases, whether it was Eisenhower or others, it was Republicans who were at the forefront of bringing civil rights.
You said when President Obama got elected that the GOP has done a pathetic job of reaching out to people of color. Do you think that's changing now? You just pointed out some examples of where it may be. And what did you make of President Obama's eulogy in South Carolina?
Well, I think so much of it was brilliant. And by the way, he has a wonderful voice. So post-presidential, I see a recording contract in his future. You know, there were times when I think he strayed into more of a political agenda rather than a true eulogy. I've presided at a lot of funerals 30 years ago and before, and I never used it as an occasion to do anything other than to focus on the person and the qualities of that person who was deceased, and not to make it a time of cause.
Governor Mike Huckabee, thanks for joining us this morning.